If we talk about the modern infrastructure in China, we may think of the breathtaking skyscrapers, rapid moving high-speed trains, clean and wide highways all over the country, and of course, we cannot skip talking about the countless modern bridges all over the rivers in China. Well, you may ask, what's the most famous bridge in China? Is it the 13.4-mile-long Hong Kong-Zhuhai-Macau Bridge that is the longest sea bridge in the world? Or if it's the 560-meter-high Beipanjiang Bridge that is the world's tallest of its kind? Here's the catch. I didn't say we're talking about the most breathtaking bridge in China, but simply referring to the most famous bridge here. My answer for this one is an only 15.1-meter-long, 7-meter-high stone bridge situated in a little-known county in the north of China. However, the most noticeable fact about this bridge is this piece of architecture is 1400 years old. Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Charlie Lin. If you want to keep learning about China from a native Chinese, please subscribe to my channel. You won't be disappointed. Okay, coming back to the topic. Why is this bridge so famous in China? It's because the bridge has been featured in a passage in the primary school Chinese literature textbooks. Since 1960s, people across at least 3 generations all have studied about this bridge exactly because of this article. The name of the bridge is Zhaozhou Qiao, or in English, Zhaozhou Bridge, named after where it's located, Zhao. It's Zhaoxian today and Zhaozhou in the past. Today, Zhao is a little-known county in the South Hebei province, neighboring with Beijing, the capital city of China. Zhao is also the same name as the family name of the famous foreign affairs spokesperson Zhao Lijian. Zhaozhou Bridge was built from 595 to 605 AD in the Sui dynasty of China. In the beginning, it probably didn't have a name at all, but because it was made of stone, the locals called it Dashi Qiao, which means the Great Stone Bridge. Around 500 years later, the emperor of Song dynasty gave it a slightly more impressive name, Anji Qiao, which means Safe Crossing Bridge. However, the implications of the name are far deeper than that. The Zhaozhou Bridge is unique for its so-called open spandrel arch design, which is the first of its kind in the world's history of bridge engineering. In 1989, Zhaozhou Bridge was listed as one of the world's historic civil engineering landmarks by American Society of Civil Engineers. And it's the only piece of architecture from China that was listed. The designer of this bridge is called Li Chun, a bridge craftsman in the Sui dynasty of China 1400 years ago. This guy, having the same family name as Bruce Lee, probably had no idea that his work of architecture would be the oldest open spandrel arch bridge in the world's history.
Zhaozhou Bridge in China, built over 14 centuries ago. Researchers have found that the shape of these arches was generated by a varying load applied from above, and this is the essence of form findings. This bridge survived wars, floods, earthquakes. It's got very modest foundations.
What is open spandrel? First off, we need to understand what is spandrel. Spandrel is simply the area between the arch and the deck of a bridge. An open spandrel arch bridge is simply a type of deck arch bridge where the spandrel area is not solid. As opposed to it is the closed spandrel arch bridge whose spandrel area is solid. You may say, okay, so that's just an arch bridge with its 2 shoulders having a few holes. What's innovative about that? Interestingly, nowhere in the world before that century knows how to do that. It's said in Europe, it's only around 700 years later that they started to have this open spandrel design for the first time in their history. Even to this day, the open spandrel arch design is still a classic example in the modern bridge engineering. For example, here's an open spandrel bridge in America. Before the open spandrel was known to the world, all bridges used the closed spandrel arches. To make that happen, it will be a very short bridge with a dangerous height. The shape of the arch is usually a strictly half-round circle. In contrast, the Zhaozhou Bridge can be built with a safely small height. The shape of the arch is just a small portion of the circular arch. Moreover, Zhaozhou Bridge has 2 openings on each of the 2 spandrels, allowing the water to go through the holes so the bridge would endure less pressure in case of flood. Besides that, construction materials were saved in building the bridge. The bridge's construction even used something similar to reinforced concrete structure in the modern civil engineering. That is, multiple iron supports called 腰铁, which literally means waste iron, to make the bridge stronger. Another amazing design of the bridge is the single arch. Usually to build a long bridge, you need a bunch of arches with multiple piers under them. But with a single open spandrel arch, large amounts of construction materials can be saved and the boats can travel easily under the bridge. All these designs allow the construction and the usage of the bridge to be easier, safer, and more efficient. Famously, the Jiaozhou Bridge is said to have survived 10 floods, 8 wars, 6 earthquakes, but it remains standing up to this day for over 1400 years. However, Jiaozhou Bridge would just be an average old stone bridge if it were not for a great architect named Liang Sicheng, who is known as the father of modern Chinese architecture. Liang dedicated his whole life to the exploration, study, restoration, and preservation of the great works of the ancient Chinese architecture. He also co-designed the national emblem of the People's Republic of China. To talk about Liang Sicheng, who was born in 1901, it will be interesting to talk about his father in passing. Liang's father is named Liang Qichao. He was a great Chinese political activist, intellectual, and reformist in the Qing dynasty. Yes, you didn't hear it wrong. It's the Qing dynasty that kisses goodbye to the last emperor of China. And it's the dynasty that has to give up their royal palace, turned into a tourist attraction in the modern day, the Forbidden City. The great architect's father had a significant influence on the political reformation of modern China before the Republic of China founded in 1911 and the People's Republic of China founded in 1949. He inspired the Chinese scholars and activists with his writings and reform movements. So, it's the son of a pioneering Chinese reformist that actually discovered the groundbreaking significance of the Jiaozhou Bridge. It's him who reminds the Chinese people of what their ancestors were capable of achieving and creating. Liang Sicheng studied in Tsinghua College from 1915, which is on the present day the Tsinghua University. 9 years later, together with his fiancée, Lin Huiying, who later also goes down the Chinese history as a pioneering architect, Liang studied in the University of Pennsylvania from 1924 to 1927. In 1947, Liang was awarded an honorary doctoral degree by Princeton University. To talk about what makes Jiaozhou Bridge famous, we have to talk about another Chinese architect named Mao Yusheng, who has the same family name as Chairman Mao. Mao Yusheng was born 5 years earlier than the discoverer of the Jiaozhou Bridge, and today, Mao is known as the father of modern bridge engineering in China. He led the design and construction of the first road and railway bridge in China, the Qiantang River Bridge, located in Hangzhou, the same city where Alibaba is presently based. His excerpts about Jiaozhou Bridge was taken from one of his articles published in the People's Daily in 1962. From that day on, for generations to come, Jiaozhou Bridge became a household name in the form of a Chinese textbook passage titled precisely Jiaozhou Bridge. The passage has been read, studied, and recited by all the primary school kids in China. That's the most expensive and free advertising for a bridge. Just like Liang, Mao Yusheng studied abroad as well. He earned a master's degree in Cornell University. In 1919, he earned the first PhD degree in Carnegie Institute of Technology, which is today the Carnegie Mellon University, who today sets up a statue for Mao in the campus. We have to say, for a backward country like China 100 years ago, we owe a great debt of gratitude to the people just like these two Chinese scholars, Liang and Mao. They both went to study in America, but they didn't simply settle down there as American citizens. They both chose to come back to China and contribute their learning to the modernization of China. However, here's a shocking truth I may have to tell you, and it's a truth that could make the discoverer of this bridge, Liang Sicheng, turn in his grave. That is, the Jiaozhou Bridge we see today may no longer be the actual ancient bridge. The Jiaozhou Bridge was discovered by Liang in 1933 during his exploration odyssey for the Chinese ancient architecture. Back then, China was still ruled by the Republic of China. Liang proposed to the government for an overhaul to preserve the Jiaozhou Bridge. But because of the war China was caught up in with the Japanese invaders, the government couldn't and didn't do anything about it. Finally, till the year of 1955 to 1958, a massive overhaul under the People's Republic of China was done to the bridge, which went a little too far to a level of building a new bridge from scratch. What? Am I wasting my time? You may raise a few eyebrows. The #1 famous ancient bridge in China is a copycat? Well, it's hard not to say that, but whatever done was done. As a matter of fact, the Jiaozhou Bridge was famous throughout the Chinese history ever since it's built. It had been overhauled in all of the following Chinese dynasties, including Tang, Song, Ming, and Qing. It's really hard to tell whether or not any of the previous dynasties ever rebuilt the bridge from scratch, just like the current Chinese government. However, it may not matter that much anymore, because even the materials in renovating the bridge in these different dynasties become cultural relics of the present day. From the year of 1952 to 1955, quite a batch of rocks, slabs, carvings were unearthed under the Jiaozhou Bridge for salvage and restoration. They were all from different dynasties. Today, these construction parts and decorated carvings are now presented safely and artistically in a museum for the bridge. People in the modern days have the opportunity to observe everything wondrous about the bridge in a new way. However, some of the tourists who go to the Jiaozhou Bridge feel a little bit deceived because they were told the Jiaozhou Bridge still stands to this day for 1400 years. The video doesn't end here. If you really want to observe what the ancient Jiaozhou Bridge looks like, there is another opportunity. That is, there's said to be a sister bridge to Jiaozhou Bridge. It's Hongji Bridge, located in the Handan city of the same Hebei province. Though we don't know when the bridge was actually built, the Hongji Bridge follows exactly the same design or almost the same design as Jiaozhou Bridge. Hongji Bridge is far less famous because Jiaozhou Bridge was featured in the Chinese textbooks, or maybe because Jiaozhou Bridge was discovered earlier than the Hongji Bridge. Who knows? Hongji Bridge may be a bridge even older than Jiaozhou Bridge. For example, to this day, we can find even fossils to this sister bridge to Jiaozhou Bridge. Alright, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or comments regarding this bridge, please don't hesitate to type your thoughts under this video. Besides, if you want to keep learning about China from a native Chinese, please don't hesitate to subscribe to my channel. Finally, please enjoy a few views I recorded for the Jiaozhou Bridge last month. I was in a neighboring city to Jiaozhou Bridge for a business trip. It was a big dream come true for both myself and my father, who got to observe this bridge for the first time in our life. So, I was told by my friend this bridge sucks. They said that the ticket is worth nothing because it really gets nothing else to see. But I still came here. So this bridge is claimed to have over 1400 years of history. But people here said a large chunk of this bridge is newly made. It's not from the ancient time. And they said a few broken rocks, they really belong to the past. But above it, it's all brand new. My father says he hid out that ugly looking bridge is actually the real bridge, Jiaozhou Bridge. And here we have some scriptures. So this is said to be the scripture written by one of the ancient Chinese emperors in the Qing dynasty.